Hi there! Well, today's video is a review of the Rusk Speed Freak hair dryer. I've been using this for a little while now, so I am finally ready to bring you my review. As always, I will have some facts and opinions, so let's get to it. Okay, so let's just start with some of the basics first. This is, as I mentioned, the Rusk Speed Freak hair dryer. I did purchase mine from Ulta. At full retail price it is $119.95 at Ulta. I paid $79.99 plus tax. It was on sale at the time that I purchased it. And I will say that when I was looking to purchase this, it did seem like it was available at a wide variety of prices from different retailers. So if this is something that you're interested in, I would really encourage you to shop around. It seems like this is one of those items that almost everybody would have on sale at different times. So I really encourage you to go to different retailers and just see what it's being offered for. I think you can certainly find it for less than the $120 price tag if you do shop around. Now this is available in two colors. I chose this sort of soft purple or dark lavender color. It was also available in black. The reason why I didn't choose the black is it seemed like it was a little bit like the NARS packaging in that it was a sort of a rubberized plastic, and I was really concerned that over time that would get kind of grungy and dingy with all of the hair products and things I was using. So I really was steered in the direction of this, plus it's one of my favorite colors, so it was sort of something I was immediately drawn to. Now this does have two blower settings of low and high. It has three heat settings of cool, warm, and hot, and then a cold shot button. So now let's go over some of the claims that Rusk makes about this dryer. So this is the box that it comes in, and there are a few claims that are listed on here, so I'm just going to go over these one by one and then let you know if I feel like it lived up to its claims. So first it says it has an AC motor for ultimate power and heat. I don't really know what that means, I'm going to be honest with you, but I will say that this does have a very powerful motor to it, so I would agree that it does have a lot of power and a very good amount of heat. I don't think it's particularly hotter than any dryer that I've used. I think it does get very hot, but I've been using a Qi Turbo for the last few years, and this seems to be just as hot as that one was, but the motor is quite a bit more powerful. It does say it's 2,000 watts, which honestly doesn't mean anything to me, but if you are familiar with that, that might mean something to you. Next it says it is infused with ceramic and tourmaline. I'm going to have to take their word for it on it. I don't know how to tell, but it does say that, and based on how my hair looks after I use it, I would tend to agree that if they say it has ceramic and tourmaline, I tend to believe that. Next, it says it's perfectly balanced for maximum comfort. I do agree with that claim. It's not a very light dryer. It's probably a little on the heavier side, but not so much so that it is uncomfortable. I do think it is very well weighted and balanced. I do think right here in the middle is a very good balance, and that it doesn't seem to be too heavy one way or the other. I think it's very comfortable, so I would agree with that claim. And finally, it claims to dramatically reduce drying time. I would absolutely agree with that. I think based on the dryer that I've been using the last few years, this has cut my drying time by about 20 or 30%. So that is something that I would agree with. Okay, so now let's talk about what I consider to be some of the pros of this product. Well, the pros are obviously that it does seem to live up to all of its claims. The most important one for me is that it does cut down on drying time, and it does have a very powerful motor. I have really been pleased with that. I think that drying your hair is something that I have to do every day, and most people have to do it several times a week. So it's really important to me that I'm able to get that done in a reasonable amount of time. So for me, that is the biggest pro. Also, it does have a very long power cord. This is 9 feet long, which I really like because it seems like when I'm drying my hair, I'm always sort of multitasking and going to grab another brush or do something else at the same time. So being able to sort of walk around with this and have plenty of room is really an advantage. Also, if you are traveling with a dryer like this, it seems like you don't always have an outlet at the comfort level that you would at home, being sort of higher in a bathroom. Sometimes I find that I have to plug things like this in an outlet that's closer to the floor, so it's always nice to be able to stand up and move around a little bit with a longer cord. I also think that it is very comfortable. I really like holding on to this. I think it is weighted well, like they say, so that is another pro for me. And I would say that another thing that's really surprised me is that my hair seems a lot silkier and shinier since I've been using this. And that is something that I noticed right away the first time that I used it. I felt like the results of my hair after I dried it were a lot more similar to how it looks when my hair is professionally done by my hairdresser. Normally when I dry my hair, it gets sort of a little bit frizzy, and while this is just as hot as what I've been using, for some reason, and I'm guessing maybe it's the ceramic that it's infused with or the tourmaline, my hair is a lot silkier and shinier, so I've been really pleased with the results of my hair since I've been using it. Now, as far as the cons go, right away a deterrent for some people is going to be the price. At $120, I think it's really expensive. I'm not sure that I would have paid full price for that. Not because it's worth it, but just because that's really expensive. I probably would have spent more time shopping around. But knowing that I could get this at $79.99, for me, it was worth it. I think it's an excellent dryer. Based on the reviews, I sort of knew going into it that that was going to be a little bit more worthwhile. Now, one of the biggest cons for me, and it's not really something that's making me not want to use it, but it was something that was a little bit hard to get used to, is the cool shot button here is sort of placed where I feel like my hand is always pressing it. So a lot of times when I'm drying my hair, I find that I'm pressing that and I'm getting a cold blast of air when I don't really want to. I don't feel like there's a lot of space in between these two to rest my hand comfortably. So I am pressing that a lot, but it's not a big deal, and I'm just trying to hold it differently and sort of light up on that finger a little bit and sort of try to hold here and press a little bit harder here so I'm not pressing that cool shot button, but it's really not such a big deal. Something else to be aware of, and I don't really think this is a con, but it is something worth mentioning, is because this does have such a powerful motor, it really does take a little bit of getting used to. The first couple times that I used this, I was just blowing my hair all over the place, and I had a hard time really getting control of it, using my brush in coordination with it. It did take some practice. So while I think that's a really good feature of this dryer, it does take a little bit of getting used to. So if you get this and you find that your hair is kind of a mess and it's hard to work with, just give yourself some time to get more practice with it. It will ultimately reduce your drying time, but it is going to take a little bit of getting used to for, you know, your everyday hair use. Just to sort of sum everything up here, I will say that I think this dryer was worth every penny. Yes, it is more expensive, but this is something that I'm going to be using every day. I have to wash my hair every day because my scalp is too oily. So for me, this was really worth the investment. It's going to save me a lot of time. It already has, just cutting down on my drying time. My hair is not thick by any means, but it does really hold on to moisture. So I've already been really happy with the amount of time that this is saving me. And I'm really also very happy with how silky my hair is, and my hair just feels healthier already. Even though I know that's not really possible, it does have the appearance of being more healthy. So if you are in the market for a dryer and you don't mind splurging a little, do a little bit of research, check around, but do give this one a shot. Go into Ulta, they have a display, you can hold all these, you can see how they feel and turn them off and on, but do shop around. I will put a link to this on my blog if you're interested in seeing that link and reading more about it, but do shop around. I don't think that there's any reason to pay full retail price, but I do think it is worth definitely the amount that I paid for it. So I thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you very soon. Bye-bye.